Leslie Nielsen. Why him? How did he wind up on your radar screen? And thank God for him, David.
Well, Leslie was actually the fourth choice. We had gone to three other actors who were more well-known. Vincent Price, I think Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. I mean, nobody remembers these guys now anyway.
Well, no.
But Leslie was the guy who was in the Poseidon Adventure, and we went to our casting director at the time for Paramount after having cast Stack, Bridges, and Graves in a comedy, and he was already, feeling a little weird about that he was going to be responsible for, his name was going to go on this huge bomb, and we said, now we want Leslie Nielsen, and he just exploded. He said, Leslie Nielsen? Leslie Nielsen is the guy you cast the night before, and we were already, we were a month away from principal photography. So we ended up, he got it completely. He told his agent, don't tell these guys, but I'd pay them to do this movie. So he was perfect. He's a closet comedian, although he had never been in a, quite this kind of zany comedy before. But he was a fish in water.
Well, I met him once, David. He had a whoopee cushion on him, David.
Right, and people ask me, did people have a hard time, keeping a straight face because all the jokes are funny and everything, but the jokes aren't, after you rehearse them a million times, it's not that funny. But people were cracking up over Leslie's whoopee cushion, which he would do right in the middle of somebody's line. And that's what he did, and he did it on talk shows. He was legendary for that.
And I was telling a story before, David, in the segment before Police Squad. It was 6 episodes in 1982.
Right.
Where
he couldn't cancel it fast enough, and that was
why? What happened?
When there were only 3 networks. So it's Tony Thermopoulos at the time was he was the president of ABC, and they were giving him a hard time at a press conference after he canceled it because, a lot of people did like it. And he said, Police Squad didn't work because you had to watch it. So it was just, probably maybe not right for TV at the time. I think if it were put on today, it probably would do a little better.
Well, and of course, Lieutenant Frank Drebin was born, and then 3 other films coming out of it. But I do want to linger on Airplane a little bit because obviously Leslie Nielsen is the through line. You mentioned Robert Stack and Peter Graves from Mission Impossible,
right.
And then you got Lloyd Bridges as well. Did you have to twist his arm to sniff glue and hang upside down?
No,
David?
he was game, and Stack was hard to get for the part too. He was skeptical, but once he signed on, he wanted more jokes, and I think Lloyd got used to it also. At the beginning, in the table read and some of the rehearsals, he wanted to change his lines. He was trying to make sense out of his lines, and we were getting a little exasperated. But Stack came in and said, "Lloyd, just keep talking. They're not listening to us anyways. There's spears going into the wall and watermelons, crashing into a desk behind us. Just keep talking." So he did get it, and I think by Hot Shots, he really was good.
Well, did any of these guys? I guess they understand that some of their work was the joke. Some of their previous work, you were trading off of.
They did understand it, and it's really to their credit that they agreed to make fun of themselves. They all got that that's what they were doing.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.